Welcome to another edition of Jet Setting. Ken Wiebe, Scott Billick here, both with Winnipeg Sun. Kenny, the Jets are wrapping up a three-game homestand here. They go 2-0-1, but an overtime loss on Tuesday to the San Jose Sharks. A game that some might say they should have had, but they kind of let the Sharks kind of stay there and didn't take advantage maybe of some late power play opportunities.
Yeah, you know what? The power play goes 0 for 5 and gives up the game-winning goal in overtime. If you just looked at the numbers, you'd think the Jets' power play really struggled, but I think it was one of the best examples of movement, especially for the first unit. They had the disallowed goal in the coach's challenge that was offside, rightfully so. But in terms of chances generated, Scott, their first unit was outstanding. I mean,
Yep.
Patrick Laine finishing with 12 shot attempts, 6 times he missed the net, but he had a lot of good looks, and for a guy who's been struggling to score goals, I think Laine will look at that as a positive. Mark Scheifele got open in that high slot area. Blake Wheeler found him, but the goal didn't count because of the offside that happened about a minute earlier. So I think the Jets probably got what they deserved in this one. I think they probably deserved a point, but overall, two Western Conference powerhouses that went kind of head-to-head, and in Paul Maurice's 1,500th game, he only gets 1 point against one of his best friends, Pete DeBoer.
Yeah, did you think that maybe after Saturday's game against the Ducks, where they score 9 and it kind of just an emphatic win, there might be a little bit of letdown?
Not really. I mean, I think Connor Hellebuyck was excellent in this game. Yes, he gave up 3 goals, but I mean, he stopped at least 2 or 3 breakaways. He was very good and tight. He had to stop Mark-Edward Vlasic with a lunging stick save in overtime. I mean, he said afterward he would have liked to have had the Pavelski shot, but that was just a good play by Brent Burns, who really did a good job of pressuring Patrick Laine along the boards, created the 2-on-1 rush. Jets were a little bit gassed after a long shift on the power play in overtime, and it led to a goal against.
Not the only loss that happened on Tuesday. The Jets lost Josh Morrissey to a blocked shot in the first period. He came back out for the second, took one shift, and then just couldn't go. And now Paul Maurice says he's day-to-day, could maybe play in Montreal. That's when the Jets will also probably get back Dustin Byfuglien. What would a loss of, I guess, Josh Morrissey mean if he has to miss some time?
Yeah, you know what, Scott? The Jets need to get Josh Morrissey healthy. I mean, that's a tough thing to do at this time of the year. I mean, we've seen him block so many shots this year, and this one obviously just caught him in one of those areas that is not protected. The one-timer from Kevin Labanc obviously left a bit of a sting or a mark. Morrissey tried it for the one shift, but obviously the pain was too much. And we know that Josh Morrissey has a high pain threshold. Paul Maurice did say he was not overly concerned. I mean, who knows what happens in the morning. Things could swell up. Maybe the ice gets it down. But as long as it's not structurally damaged, I think the Jets will be fine. And this will give them an opportunity to easily bring back Dustin Byfuglien. And, I mean, we'll see. So far, Joe Morrow has played ahead of Sami Niku. But if Morrissey does have to miss a game, that would be another opportunity to maybe get a little bit more of a look at Sami Niku before the NHL trade deadline.
The Jets have been patient with Dustin Byfuglien. Do you expect them to maybe be a little error on that side of caution again with Morrissey, if there is maybe just a little bit more than just a stinger?
For sure, Scott. I mean, Dustin Byfuglien looked like a guy who wanted to be in the lineup today, but we've seen it with Morrissey and Tyler Myers. Paul Maurice has just given them a little extra time, and especially with the nature of the ankle injury, Dustin Byfuglien's a big guy. I mean, it's a lot of weight on an ankle. But it's not just that. I think the ankle is healed fine, but when you have a guy who's been out for 5 weeks, you never know about the groin injuries and the hip flexors and things like that. I think Dustin Byfuglien will be back and be ready to go on Thursday. And the Jets do have a back-to-back coming up on the weekend, but as Paul Maurice mentioned, you're not going to ease Dustin Byfuglien back in with 12 minutes, especially if Morrissey's gone. With those 5 defense, Jacob Trouba almost had 28 minutes, and both Ben Sherrod and Tyler Myers over 25 minutes on Tuesday against the Sharks.
Yeah, now a 3-game road trip here, kind of Eastern Canada swing, starting in Montreal on Thursday. What do you expect from the Jets here against some teams that maybe, one team fighting for a playoff, one team in the basement of the league? What do you expect from this road trip?
It's going to be interesting. I mean, the Jets have been excellent not only on this homestand. I mean, they've taken 15 of the last 16 available points at Bell MTS Place, so they've been dominant on home ice. On the road, they've been okay, but I think this is one of those stretches where they want to keep piling up the points. Things are getting tight in the Western Conference, not only at the top, but in that race for the bottom. We know there will be a couple of desperate teams and teams looking for points. So, I mean, the Jets, I think they're starting to turn up the volume here now during the stretch run, and they'll look to continue to do that against a couple of Eastern Conference opponents.
For sure, Kenny. Yeah, and you'll be on the road, so you can read your stuff in the pages of the Winnipeg Sun. It's been another edition of Jet Setting. For Ken Wiebe, Scott Billick. Thanks for watching.